When I was a casual, I thought as a casual, I spoke like a casual, and I looked at boxing like a casual. But when I became a hardcore, I put away all those casual things. This is Michael Rogers, and welcome to BodyWorkBoxing.
Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to BodyWorkBoxing. It's a new day. It's a new time. It's always a time when the calendar is being represented as a new day. It's a time for a refreshing, a restoration, a fresh start, where we start from scratch. I'm still finding that some of our counterparts out here in these YouTube streets are still on that bullshit. But I digress. I'm going to accentuate the positive. I'm going to talk about something that's been brewing in me for a while now, because I do these videos and it's called 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Around the corner, 24/7, 365. We can always find people that are going to always harp on the negative. Why? Drama spreads faster. Why? Salaciousness is at an all-time high. And this past year, the Charlos both caught a lot of flack. I'm going to focus in on Jermall Charlo in this video. And I want to add that, the fight with Montiel, he won 10 out of 12 rounds. He hit Montiel with everything in the kitchen sink. And, in one of my older videos when I was on that fight and the surroundings and about how he didn't have any support on Juneteenth and how everybody was crying a motherfucking river about the fact that it was just one black guy and all these Hispanics. People are always going to cry about something. Never celebrating that this man and his brother actually got the keys to the city and it was a homecoming fight for him. And he didn't have his support. He didn't have our support. In the fight, he suffered a broken hand. He actually showed that his hand was broken. And, typically we want to say around 4 to 6 months it takes an injury like that to actually heal. So here we are in January. It's all this talk about Andre and how he's getting ready to move up to 168. Why? Because he got an ass whooping by a guy named Janabek coming down the pike. That fight is actually going to purse bid. Why? I don't know, because Eddie is supposed to be Mr. Moneybags, even though he's not. I'm not even going to get into that. Supposedly, Jermall Charlo turned down an offer from CANELO, and he turned down an offer from Andre. And also, allegedly, when asked, Ronnie Shields had no information on Charlo's next whereabouts. I'd like to welcome everybody who's been locked in, tuned in, and watching and rocking with your boy, Mr. Rogers, as I cover these boxing events and I cover my marquee fighters. Jermall the Hitman Charlo is one of my marquee fighters. I think I might have to cue Mr. Roy Jones. Y'all must have forgot. He's a 2-division champion, 154 and 160. One Canelo Alvarez ducked this man at 160. He's in the same boat as Devin Haney when it comes to having been ducked by one of the faces of boxing. He's actually looked upon as only wanting a payday, and I'm like, Eureka! Captain Obvious is prize fighting. And we've been denying Charlo his chance at one Cinnamon Ginger Alvarez for a very long time. I call him the gingerbread man because I know a motherfucking gingerbread man when I see one. But I digress. This video is about Jermall Charlo. I did a whole set on the rise of CalebPlant. CalebPlant severely disappointed me. I'm not gonna lie. I lost money betting on CalebPlant. I am a realist. The same energy that he had before the fight was not the same energy that he had inside of the ring during the fight. You don't ask another man who you in close quarters with in combat when, I'm a great fighter, right? No, you don't do that. But he did. And I don't know if it was the Mafia, because it was reported that the Mafia had threatened CalebPlant that if you're not winning this fight, the same way Cam Newton was threatened that time when he faced the Denver Broncos, and it looked like in the pregame that he was already getting ready to lose the fight. Got a video about it in the post-fight. CalebPlant, Canelo, Cinnamon, Gingerbread, Alvarez. In the video, you can go check it out. I want to save you guys some time. My question is, why can't a fight between CalebPlant and Jermall Charlo happen right now? Right now. Everybody's saying, oh, what is Charlo gonna do? He's so inactive and we haven't heard from him, and they don't ever want to like really consider that the man had an injured hand. How many months did that take? We saw reports of him out with red cups, red solo cups. I mean, red solo cups they're disposable. We can't assume that there was alcohol in it. We seen him and his brother. I remember a while ago when your favorite content creators was actually trying to build up a fight between the two twins. That's when I thought boxing was at an all-time low. When you're trying to get two twins fight each other. It's never going to happen. Anyways, I believe that Jermall Charlo would actually... I think Jermall Charlo can beat Canelo Alvarez. If he's such easy work, then Canelo would have just got that check. Because you know they was going to have to bring the bag. After all, you are Mr. Canelo Alvarez. But I'm going to focus my attention on CalebPlant and Jermall Charlo. And I don't really understand why. I don't really understand why a fight like that can't happen. I believe that Jermall Charlo did what he needed to do. He's a 2-division champ. He also has the complicated issue, just like when him and his twin was at 154, of them competing in the same division. Unless he moves up, once Jermall actually gets undisputed, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed for the young man that he's going to do that, then he's going to move up to 160. Once Errol Spence gets undisputed, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that he does that, he's going to move up to 154. So it's a trickle-down effect. And right now, I'm thinking, okay, well, if CalebPlant was the goods, and Jermall Charlo really wants a fight with Cinnamon, Ginger, then a fight between CalebPlant and Jermall Charlo needs to happen right now. Right now. I got Jermall the Hitman Charlo stopping CalebPlant. I'm not flinching. I think that Jermall Charlo is a fighter that fights to the level of his competition. I think that he got a bad rap for the fight with Montiel because Montiel knows that he was on his last string. He was on his last hoorah or whatever, and he had the will. And he also had an audience, you know, because the crowd catered to his people, you know, or people that wasn't like Charlo, even though he was in his hometown. And it was just one of them nights where Jermall Charlo couldn't get him out of there. You know, he was dealing with a Mexican warrior who had a lot of pride, had a lot of people looking at him, and that changes. And in our community, we put a lot of things into these fights. I mean, so what? It's just like when Tank and Cruz fought. Tank had a broken hand, but nobody wants to bring that up. All they want to say is bad performance. It wasn't a bad performance. He was on his way to stopping Cruz. Jermall Charlo was on his way to stopping Juan Montiel. Yeah, Montiel caught him a couple times, but he buckled Montiel several times. He hit him with everything in the kitchen sink, and he's a very powerful guy. It was just one of them nights where a knockout wasn't in the question. Oh well, and getting caught in boxing is just one of them things. But right now, I would love to see Jermall Charlo and CalebPlant. I have the Hitman by stoppage. I would love to know what you think about it. Body work.
All right, I believe you, but my tummy don't. Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
My word, and I do what I do. And he knows what I'm about to tell him right now. It's Mr. Keep running your mouth. That's what I do.
I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter. Inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if it gets down to the wire, and we gotta lock it up, I'm out on top.
Hey, look, as you can see how I'm looking, I stay solid. I'm always solid. I stay focused on the ring. You know what I'm saying? To the fans and all that.
Great job outside the ring. I'm a fighter. Like I said before, ain't no safety on the clock, so